and the beginning of a very exciting economic democracy phase, which we are just entering today. Thank you all for being here, and congratulations to you as participants in the system. This is a success for all of us, having gotten to this stage. I also want to thank our participating businesses. All of the food today comes from the businesses that are participating in this R-Credits pilot over the last year. Real Pickles, Up and Gill Farm, Artisan Beverage Cooperative was supplied the grape kombucha over here. People's Pint, Mesa Verde, Foster Supermarket, Greenfields Market, and Snow's Ice Cream. We'll have a little bit of each of those things to eat today, from each of those places. Okay. Thank you.
Closer, William.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you a short overview of what we're doing today, and then make a few remarks about where we've been, where we are, and where we're going from here. So here's the overview. We're going to give this little talk, and then we'll have lunch with some discussion, as well as just celebrating and getting to know the people at your table and having a good time. That's the main purpose for today. And then we have a penny vote, which is a little game we play to represent what we'll do with this economic democracy power. And Becky will explain that when we get that far. Then we'll have a short time for questions and answers and closing. So here's where we've been and where we are and where we're going. This is last December, and this is today. And this is our number of members. We only have about 80 active members, mostly because the people who have joined recently, a lot of them haven't gotten a chance to use their R card yet. But as you can see, at some point we started to go from a linear growth to more either a steeper linear growth or exponential. And this is partly because we started giving incentives for you all to invite other people. That's the way we will grow. In order to participate, you have to be invited, and that means you have to invite somebody for us to grow. Okay, nuts and bolts demo. That's next. So, wanted to just show you, people thought this was very useful, even for experienced members, to see what's actually going on with the R credits when you use your R card. So here's what it looks like. Mary Link, where are you? Okay, let's say Mary wants to invite, there's Peter. Let's say she thinks Peter Letson might be interested in R credits. So she sends him an invitation. She signs into her R credits account. She clicks on invite, puts in Peter's email, and he gets an invitation in his email. He clicks on the link, sits down at a computer, which is what he's doing now, and opens an R credits account. And as part of this, he connects his bank account. Pretty soon, in the mail, he gets an envelope with his R card in it. And he takes his R card, he chose as part of his, I forgot this, as part of his sign-up, he chose to have a minimum R credits balance of $200. He gets to choose the amount.
200 worth of R credits?
Yes, $200 worth of R credits in his account. So, automatically, that's Peter's, automatically, that $200 gets taken from his bank account and transferred to the R credit system, which puts it in an escrow account. John's the escrow. Not reality, but today he's the escrow. And Peter gets $200 worth of R credits as a stand-in for those, which he can now use when he uses his R card. So Peter takes his R card. Did I forget something?
Well, there may have been something misleading. You gave me the $200. That was my $200. That's right. These are the R credits that I bought.
Oh, yes, those were his $200. The green ones.
See, now there are how many $100? 200 in what?
$200 and $200 in R credits.
Yes, please appreciate that.
Okay, so
We just created $200
thank you. Those are
worth of art.
Yes.
start over. Pretend I didn't do anything. Peter has $200 in his bank account, probably a lot more than that, but he has at least that much. That much gets transferred automatically because he chose 200 as his minimum R credits balance. Gets transferred to the R credit system in exchange for $200 worth of R credits. And the $200 of U.S. money goes into an escrow account.
And that is for kind of regular bank account somewhere like.
Actually, right now it's at Citizens Bank.
And is it earning interest?
Earning interest, yes.
Pennies a month.
Okay. Peter takes his R card, which came in the mail, and goes to buy something from Becky, who's selling what? What are you selling, Becky? Bowls. Peter buys a bowl for $100.
Very special, handmade, locally done.
And
The clay even came from here,
Peter gets a 10%.
but he gives me his card.
Oh, we've got to do this first.
That's his ID.
May I see your ID? Wait, this isn't his first time, he's been here a
Oh,
lot.
this-
But if it's his
it's
first,
important.
it's his first time, may I see your ID, please? Picture.
But there,
There's a picture on the R card. You gotta be careful. First time. Peter, you're really Peter. Thank
After
you
that,
very
they'll
much.
recognize me from my picture on that. Okay, so Peter just spent $100 worth of R credits. He gets a 10% bonus for that.
it's the same color, but this one only has a 10 on it.
Yes. And the business also gets a 10% bonus. Here you go, Becky. That's for your business. And since it's Peter's first R card purchase, he gets a 20% sign-up bonus. And the person who
$20 or 20%?
$20 worth of R
Is
credits.
it 20%?
Yeah.
Excuse me,
$20.
$20 worth of R credits. And the person who invited him also gets a $20 R credit bonus. They can spend anything they want.
Well, that's not, don't they do that?
Okay. This is a, well, I won't talk about that. Let's say some time goes by, a month goes by, and Peter has some money in his account. He gets an inflation adjustment because the dollar has lost value, and we don't want our credits to lose value, so we give him a little bit more R credits. That's a 1 on there. Currently, you get 5% annually adjustment on your R credits balance, but it happens monthly. It's whatever that is divided by 12. And then let's say that Peter goes on and opens a business account just by clicking on a little button on his account. Great. And let's say that he's also an employee of the business. Mary Link invited him, so she gets $10 worth of R credits as a bonus for having invited somebody to open a business account. Oh, and there are also some other employees who are already members of Peter's business. So she gets a bunch more $10 for each one of them who is already a member. And some more sign up in the future, and she gets $10 for that too. $10 worth of R credits for each employee of the business. The intent here is that we're giving people incentives to invite, these are the participating businesses. Here, oh, here, excuse me, the blue line, participating businesses. We especially want more businesses to get involved here, and the only way they can get involved is if somebody who manages or owns the business becomes a member, green line, first, and then opens a company. So that's where we are now. Yes.
I think this, perhaps a misconception pointed without having said anything. We're passing these paper things around so you can see them. All of this is done electronically. Right? There's no, dare I say, printing of money. Except this, there are more R credits coming into circulation, but there's not, this is just so you can see it. It doesn't have anything to do with what actual mechanism
questions before we go on to the next piece?
What's the total amount of money that exists now?
We're gonna get to that in a minute.
So
You mean in this example? Oh, in the example, how much do you have, Peter?
131 art credits.
Mary Link?
Wait a minute, I'm counting.
I have 110.
241.
I've got 80.
John? The escrow account?
I have $200, Federal
Right.
Reserve dollars.
So there's a certain amount of R credits, a certain amount of US dollars. 321 on R credits,
Did you add my
I
80?
included, yeah.
and $200 worth of US currency, money
In the escrow account.
in the escrow account.
So $200 has generated this money.
Yes. Well, as well as the economic activity.
Did you say that again? What was the question?
Yes.
Can you repeat the question and the answer?
How, the $200 that Peter put into the system, together with his economic activity, generated 300, how much was it?
21.
$321 worth of R credits,
Well, it
plus
generated
the existing $200 in US.
121 and a half.
Ellen?
There's no backup, there's nothing behind those archives. That's what's so hard for me to understand.
Yes, the only thing behind the R credits that were given as incentive rewards is our agreement to accept them.
And our activity.
And our economic activity, our productivity,
Which is worth $1 million.
which is also the only thing that's behind US dollars. If you can't get something for your money, it isn't worth anything.
Let me
And
just
our
finish this.
donations, because when I signed up, it said, do you wanna make a donation on a quarterly basis, so that's going into the pot as well. That hasn't been
That's part of the economic activity, yes.
We should have added that.
Yeah, but I was trying to keep it short.
Well, let me just mention one other part of possible site history. This business is going out of business, and I'm moving to Cincinnati.
Cleveland.
Anyway, I'm moving, to Peru, to see my daughter. So, I have these art credits, and I could run and spend them all, but I don't have time because I'm packing so quickly. I can go to art credits and turn in my $100, that is what I gave out in purchases. Not the $10 incentive, but the $100 to the bank, to the escrow account, and get $100 back. If I had spent this, I would have had it. That's what you get for not spending it.
So
And
that-
this is extinguished. It's gone. But there's still this in the escrow.
Yes. And she can do that, anytime, whether she's moving or not. She doesn't have to close her account. to cash that out. She
There's
makes money.
221 out against the 100 that's in the escrow.
Yes, but we can only cash in 100.
Can-
A lot of those can't cash in.
Right.
Can't cash.
She only has incentive.
Can I just,
Currently, the amount that's in the escrow is the same amount that people could cash out net. Emily?
it's hard to hear back here, so if everybody for us back here, because there's span, which is good, because there's heat, speaks up as loud as you can, or stands up, or if William, you can repeat the questions and answers, that would be great.
Yeah. Before you ask though, Ben, I just want to say, we're not intending that everybody understand everything from this demonstration about what's going on. We just want you to have a sense that there is a pool of US dollars in escrow that's just sitting there, and the sense that there is some amount of our credits that we have issued as incentive rewards, and some amount as trading in for US dollars. That's what I'm hoping you'll get from this.
We could talk 12 hours on the questions of why this works. We could talk
Yes.
a lifetime. So for the structure of today, we have another 15-minute question time, and we're very happy to stay afterwards to ask questions, and you can email us and call us. But we do have an agenda for today, and we have discovered
Lunch.
that every time that we try to answer every question, that it's important to understand, we're not trying to snow you over. We will spend any time explaining it. But now we're going to go on to the next piece of the agenda.
there. And if you read all of them, you'd understand a whole lot.
But on the home page is a Prezi, which explains why all this works.
Okay. So this is the main point we want you to get today from this, is that a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of US dollars that people have put into the system in exchange for our credits. Somewhat less people have gotten as incentive rewards. We have just issued as incentive rewards for signing up, for making purchases, as inflation adjustments, and for rewards for inviting people. So there's a certain amount. Here's the amount that is traded for US dollars, and here's the amount that is created as incentive rewards. Okay, next slide, John.
Next slide.
Next slide, John. John.
What?
Oh, here? No, no, right. So, as this green line, no, excuse me, I'll start with the blue line. The blue line represents the amount in the escrow account. And you can see it started with very little last December, and it's grown steadily until today where it has $60,000 in it. And it just keeps growing, because we're not using those US dollars, even though people are putting some in and taking some out. It still grows every month, and it's currently $60,000 in it. Part of the question for us today and in the future is how much of that can we safely spend, since it's just sitting there? And what do we want to spend it on? Particularly the last question, what we want to talk about a little bit today. And then there's also all these our credits we've issued as incentive rewards. We could, as a community, issue even more than that and still expect that they would circulate rather than getting totally cashed out. So, as a safe assumption for today, we're going to say in the near future, we could spend, say, half of what's in the escrow account. And that's what we wanted you to talk about over lunch, is what would we do with $30,000 in the short term if we were ready to make that decision corporately. We aren't a functioning common good community yet, which is where we want to go with our next phase. A well-functioning democratic unit that can decide what to do with $30,000 or more as we grow. And then also today, imagine that we've grown by a factor of 100 or so, and that we have $3 million to give away. We do expect to get there sometime. So go on to the next slide, John.
What's top 5?
Those are the 5 businesses that have the most bar credits that they haven't spent in a month. But I want to not get into more. I shouldn't even have answered that. What's going on? You can see all these graphs on the website. If you go to your account and click on community, you'll see these graphs. So we have suggested some categories that we may want to fund in the short term and later when we have something like $3 million in the escrow account or that we judge we can issue as our credit. And what we'd like you to think about over lunch, as well as just having a good time and meeting people that you don't know at your table. Think about how much you would give, like what percent of our total budget you would give to each of these categories, or any categories you think of at the table. And same with the longer term.
Let's read those, because I don't know, when I was at the back, I had a hard time. And we just brainstormed a lot of things and then tried to put them in some categories. So for short term, we're talking about $30,000, something we could do probably in the next year. Incentives for buying organic and or local, that we would give our credits to people who bought organic or local to try to increase that amount. The second, incentives for alternative energy, again, getting our credits for people who choose alternative energy. Scholarships and school funding, field trips, music, camp, after-school activities. Giving our for people who are having a hard time struggling through the winter. And community events, block parties, free theater, concerts, whatever your imagination. One sec. The long term later, down the road, when we are 80% of Greenfield is participating, and we might have $3 million, we could try raising the minimum wage. In Greenfield, we could fund individual local enterprises, some of the idea, capitalize our members' dreams, invest in startups, support transitions to worker-owner co-ops, import replacement, the arts, help other communities start our credits, job training programs that wouldn't cost the participants, green energy, no fossil fuel for heating and cooling, and different environmental projects, preserve and cultivate mixed-use forests, encourage permaculture landscapes, start CSAs, etc.
I have two quick questions. One is, low-income housing. I just heard Ann Perkins speak from the Community Action, and low-income housing is a
Number one. What we're going to suggest, when you are at your tables eating, we want you to be talking about what you personally would like to use these art credits for. And each table can come up, we have put little tags. Oh, I sold you my bowl. Where did I put it? Here, I have to take it back, sorry. Okay, here. So, there's a label for each one of these things attached to a bowl. Because after lunch, you're going to be voting with pennies for what you would want to invest in. There are 6 extra tags, and each table can come up with one idea that their table kind of agrees extra, put it on here and put another bowl here. And for the long term. So I would vote with you. I think the affordable housing should be
My
up
other
there.
question is, you're giving people our credits, but we have 30,000. Why not give them money?
That could be another one.
That's what
You
we're
could-
doing. No, we're spending $30,000.
Right, but we could just,
Federal
Because some
Reserve dollars.
people would be lost with our credit. They're just-
okay, I mean, that's another alternative for a way.
Assume that we're spending it out of the escrow. It's the most straightforward.
In other words, that it is real money?
It's all real money.
It's all
but
real money.
It's US,
maybe not
FDIC.
It's all equally fake money.
Yes, it's all equally
Spend
paid.
it for things.
Still, but if you hand somebody something that says our credits, they may not be able to.
Right.
It doesn't relate to
So
it.
assume it's dollars,
Don't
US
worry
dollars.
about the next speaker.
So, I'm going to suggest something that's never worked in my experience, and I would love this group to prove me wrong. I actually think we should be at 5 tables. Well, no, I think we'll need 6 tables, because we're going to eat them. Okay, so you're going to go through, we have food from all of our vendors, we have,
We can definitely fit it, 5.
you figure it out.
Yeah.
Foster's, we bought this food with our credits. Foster's fruit and vegetable platters, Mesa Verde burritos, what are they?
Enchiladas.
Bean and,
They're cheese enchiladas, and they're also beans and rice separately.
we have cheese from Up and Gill Farm. We have kombucha from, you say it because, and I never knew you had great kombucha, so that was new to me. We have ginger ale and root beer from the People's Pint. Pickles from Real Pickles. And from the co-op, nuts, raisins, crackers, plateware, cookies. Oh, and ice cream from Snow's Ice Cream. So I think that's every one of our participating businesses, yeah? So, after you get your food, I would like you to sit at a table of people that you don't know. Well, and some of you know everybody. So, just the idea is you don't come with your partner or your best friend. The idea is to have a real exchange might be such a small community that that's impossible. I know I don't live here, so I don't know most of you. But, you know, the idea is just to kind of mix it up a bit.
Let me ask a question.
we
How
have
many
two
people
seats.
here don't know anybody else here? Okay, these are the people you want to go looking for, particularly these two. How many people here know just one person here? How many people know just two people here? Okay, so these are the next, there's a hand back there, put it up so we can see you, so we can welcome you. And so especially, these are some of the people who are especially welcome because they don't know as many.
Don't let them sit at a table by
Yeah, don't
themselves.
let them themselves in the
We
back.
have 2 chairs
We
right
have
here.
chairs.
So, you know, those people make sure that, you know, the people at your table don't talk amongst yourselves, make sure you welcome those new people. How many people know everybody here? Okay, or all feel like you know most of the people here. So, you get the idea.
So once you're settled and you're eating, and I know you're not supposed to talk while you're eating, but you can figure that out.
No, it's
Mouthful, okay. You take turns chewing and talking. You talk about ideas, these ideas are your own ideas, you just keep them up there. And if your table toward the end decides they want to add a new short-term or long-term project, have somebody come up, there are markers and labels on the table. We'll have about a half an hour, it's not much to eat and talk. And then after that, we're going to give you 10 pennies that you're going to vote for short-term projects and 10 pennies to vote for long-term projects. 10 because we can figure out percentages that way. You can put all 10 of your pennies on one thing that you really, incentives for buying organic and are local. That's so important to me, I'm going to vote 10. Or like most of us wishy-washy person, I can't decide 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Or 2, 3, however, by your importance, you have 10 votes. 10 votes for local projects, 10 votes for long-term projects. So after we eat, after the new labels are put up, we'll hand out pennies and you'll do your voting. So the next half an hour, dream. Have fun dreaming about things we can do in the future.
So one thing I'd like to share with you, William has been working extremely hard over the past year and a half to create the digital infrastructure for the new economy. And what he's accomplished is astounding. It's equal to what the banks use, and it means that we can get there. We can create the common good economy.
Yeah.